Hi there, Cancer. This is going to be your end of 2022 reading. I'm going to give these cards a quick shuffle. So Cancer, I hope you're well. This is just thinking about Cancers a little bit right now, and definitely emotional beings, watery sign, obviously. But I think about kind of their want to be home and have a very emotionally stable home life. Sometimes their emotions can get wrapped up in others, which can be a challenge for Cancer, meaning that they have a hard time separating their own emotions from others, which we all have a challenge with, believe me. But for Cancer, it can be especially challenging. Now, let's see here what we have. I feel like this is good. All right, let's see. There's been a lot of Swords card coming up, I gotta tell you, for all these readings. All right, and your card, okay, a lot of blue. More Swords, beautiful, the Sun, Death, and another Sword. All right, Cancer. Let me just take a quick look here. All right. So in this first row, which represents the past, things that have been happening over this year that's led you up to this moment, right? So you have this Eight of Swords, you have the Chariot, which is your card, right? And you have the Hermit. So when I think of the Eight of Swords, I'm going to start at the top. I think of anxiety. I think of fears. I think of I think of like this protective bubble that we have, right? Let me show you this. Now this is going to be Jupiter in Pisces. And I think what this means is that we're trying to expand out of this emotional bubble that we're in. And all these swords are kind of poking at that bubble, right? And that hurts. But this person the reason it's hurting is because this person isn't staring at them. They're not looking at what's hurting them. And that can be challenging, like I said, because for Cancer, other people's emotions can be very bothersome to you because you take them on as your own. And I would be very careful about that. And this has been something maybe that you've been working on this year. Because the next card is your card, it's the Chariot. And I feel like you've been wrestling with everyone else's emotions, let me say that. And because of that, it's been challenging to really hone into yourself. Now this card represents passion and purpose, right? Being connected to your purpose in life because it makes you very passionate, right? Or even, you could say it another way, being connected to your passion, which gives you purpose. So that's really nice. And I feel like for Cancer, you've been really working on this year. Because the next card is the card of Virgo. It's the Hermit, and it's about introspection. It's about being connected to your light, like I was saying. Like this guy here is very connected to his light, and he's driving forward with it. And the Hermit comes a few cards after the Chariot. This is card 9, right? And the Chariot's card 7. So you've definitely learned some things here this year, and you're strong. And this can be a waiting energy, because if I look at these other cards here, yeah, I don't know what the middle card is. So I am gathering you've been doing some introspection, but also kind of wanting to charge forward, but being careful about that, which is okay. We all need to take a moment sometimes. Now in the middle here, which represents kind of your present energy, you have the Seven of Coins, and this is a Taurus card, and it's also ruled by Saturn. And so it's about, okay, you've really grown a lot, right? Like I said, and not just in the emotional world and the spiritual world, but this card represents your material world, like growing your job, growing your career, right? Or it can literally mean you've grown this whole field of vegetables, right? And you're trying to sell them off or something, that's kind of the basics. But really it's okay, I've done a lot of work I've grown a lot. I've planted a lot of seeds and I've grown a lot. And I want to do something with this. It's very much like, how do I move forward kind of energy. Now below this is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords knows where she's going. She's connected to her feminine side. And your feminine side of communication represents listening, not just talking. And it sounds like with this Eight of Swords here, definitely, it sounds like you've needed to tune into yourself a little bit. And the Queen represents being able to do that. So that's great. It sounds like this Eight of Swords energy has been in the past for you and you've been able to deal with it. And the Queen of Swords energy is really like knowing what you need to say, knowing what you need to do, knowing how to listen to other people and take advice and critiques. Very, very important, right? Now in the future, you have the Sun, you have Death, and you have the Three of Swords. Now, the Death and Three of Swords absolutely can be scary energy. I mean, it looks scary. This looks scary. This looks scary, right? But really, I think what this represents, because since you have the Sun at the very top here, the Sun represents, it's Leo's card, it represents strength, it represents clarity, being able to see something, right? Because, like I said, you haven't been looking at what you need to look at. This is looking at it, really looking at it, whatever this situation is. And because you're really looking at it, right, you're allowing yourself to transform. You're embracing that Scorpio-ness inside of you. That we all need to embrace all of the signs, by the way. And by signs, I mean all the astrological signs. They all influence us. Our sun sign, which yours is Cancer, right? Our sun sign is going to be our biggest challenge because it can be, in terms of the shadowy parts. The light parts will be easy for us. The shadowy parts will be challenging. And for you, you're going to be gaining some clarity by the end of this year, it looks like. And I really like that. And you're going to transform. And what's going to happen is all those things that used to cause you so much pain, I feel, are not going to cause you pain anymore. Because this card is in a position that suggests that you're taking care of this. Okay? It's very nice. Okay. Now, I haven't flipped over this middle card yet. I'm very curious about it. It's going to be connected to all the other cards. It's going to be the energy that brings it all together. All right. The Hanging Man, Neptune's card. The Neptune represents your emotions, right? And like I said, Cancer can have trouble with their emotions. And this represents gaining a new perspective. This hermit thing, right? Being introspective comes first, and then the perspective shift happens, right? It just takes a little bit of time. And so embracing this hanged man energy, embracing Neptune's energy, which is the watery, emotional parts of ourselves, we're really going to see ourselves better. We're going to embrace this sun energy, right? And we're going to transform. So we're literally like this hanging man represents what you need to do right now. Okay. So let's see what's on the bottom of this deck. The bottom of the deck is going to be kind of like the advice for the reading. The advice from tarot for the reading. All right, another swords card, not surprising. The Four of Swords, and this is a card of Libra, it's a card of Jupiter, and it's about healing. It's about healing. It's about resting. It's about not letting all that pain from the Three of Swords bother you anymore, because you see it for what it is, right? You see that it's not serving you. That's powerful when we're able to do that. Cancer, I'm going to pick one more card. It's going to be your Moonology card. I want to know what the moon's advice for you is. Let's just put it that way. What is the moon's advice for Cancer for the end of 2022? Okay, this is your card. All right. Full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. You can do it, Cancer. I know you can do it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But it just takes some time. And you are gonna be connected to yourself in a much better way once you do that. All right, Cancer. I really hope you have a great rest of your year. I might do some more, I am going to do some more readings before the end of the year. But this is definitely going to be a good, hey, what can I work on to make this year the best year that I can make it? All right, release that negativity, guys. Thank you. Bye now.